The first thing I did as Chi Tongwei's uncle was join the 1979 Sino-Vietnamese War. During that time, I literally used my own body to shield Zhao Mengsheng from bullets, and pulled Jin Kailai, Liang Sangxi, and Lei Kaihua out alive. All because I couldn't stand watching my nephew Chi Tongwei repeat the same mistakes, and I sure as hell didn't want to hear him yell, "I defy the heavens" again. If someone had been there to have his back, maybe he never would have fallen into corruption in the first place. Everyone in that hospital room was military, though, right? They believed every word I said. Back in the day, Wu Shuang had carried Lei Jun out of a pile of bodies. What I did wasn't even close to topping that. Wu Shuang looked at me and said, "What a fine young man. Don't call me commander, call me auntie. Mengsheng's told me all about you. The Liu family's second daughter is about your age. I think it could work. Leave it to me." Lei Jun stood behind Wu Shuang, clearly holding something back. Old man Liu was no ordinary guy. He was a founding era veteran, served as deputy minister of the 3rd Ministry and later minister of the 7th. Not far behind the Zhao family at all. The Liu family's eldest daughter, Liu Lan, was already married to Zhao Mengsheng. If Fang Zhenhua could become his brother-in-law too, he'd have the Liu family's backing and be riding the Zhao family's coattails. That's a future worth having. And honestly, Wu Shuang was thinking the exact same thing. Fang Zhenhua was a top-tier young talent. She'd already heard all about him from Zhao Mengsheng. A second-class combat hero and a first-class merit citation? That's proof enough this guy was the real deal. A talent like this still at the bottom of the ranks. Too bad the Zhao family had no daughters, or she'd have made him her son-in-law on the spot. Since that's off the table, making him Mengsheng's brother-in-law was the next best thing. Old Liu and old Zhao had worked side by side back in the day. They were family. Zhao Mengsheng always said his mother had the grace of a diplomat. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Wu Shuang had gotten real sharp when it came to handling people. Lei Jun and Wu Shuang were both busy people. They gave Fang Zhenhua one look and headed out. I spent 10 days in the hospital before getting discharged. Even the doctors were amazed at how fast I recovered. Back with the unit, life went back to normal. Training was still my everyday grind. But that quiet military life? It wasn't gonna last. Half a month later, Zhao Mengsheng brought me some news. "Zhenhua, orders just came down from the brigade. A few of us from the company are heading to Changshan Advanced Army Academy." Changshan Advanced Army Academy. Yeah, I knew exactly what that was. The Asian West Point. I just never thought I'd get a shot at it less than a year into service. But honestly, it made sense. I had a second-class combat hero citation on my record, so getting into officer school was totally expected. Plus, Wu Shuang had clearly pulled some strings behind the scenes. "Instructor, who else is going besides me?" "The company commander, Liang Sanqi, and Kaihua. The biggest contributors from the 9th Company. All of you are getting your shot this time. Military Academy is a whole different level. Liang Sanqi and Zhao Mengsheng are definitely moving up. And even Fang Zhenhua and Lei Kaihua, once they're out, they'll start as company-grade officers. Now that's a solid path forward. Instructor, when do we ship out?" 1 week from now. After we get to Changshan, you and I are making a trip back to Beijing." "Back to Beijing? What for?" "What do you think? I'm setting you up on a blind date, obviously." I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Blind dates. Inevitable no matter what era you're in. I was born in 58, so I was 21 by Western count, barely 22 by the traditional calendar. "Instructor, you really think she'd go for someone like me?" "Relax, I got you. When we get back to Beijing, I'll talk to your sister-in-law and have her put in a good word. You're a good-looking guy. Trust me, you're solid." Zhao Mengsheng hyping me up actually did boost my confidence a bit. It wasn't that I didn't want to get with the Liu girl. I just didn't want to embarrass myself if the families weren't on the same level. "All right, instructor, I'll trust you on this." That's more like it. A week later, the crew from the 9th Company all boarded a train heading to Changshan City, Yanbei Province. The other deputy company commander and deputy instructor had come back, so they'd hold things down while we were gone. They'd go through Chunqing first, then transfer. 2 full days of travel. With economic reforms picking up, trains were getting more and more crowded. More people meant more shady characters. The guys teamed up with the train police and caught several pickpockets. Being soldiers, they earned nothing but praise from the passengers. Back then, people still had a lot of heart. Civilians genuinely loved the troops, straight from the gut. But there was one guy on that train who caught my eye, a young train officer named Wang Xing. I'd already had a feeling, but running into Wang Xing made me even more sure. This world I'd crossed into was way more complicated than it looked. Deep waters. Wang Xing was pretty warm toward the soldiers. He shook hands with Fang Zhenhua and the others with a smile and asked where they were headed. When he heard Changshan, he gave a nod. "Anything you need, just holler." "Appreciate it, Officer Wang." "No worries. Turns out me and this Fang guy are actually from the same province." "You're from Handong too?" "Yantai." 2 days on the train later, Fang Zhenhua and the crew finally rolled into Changshan. The academy had sent a military vehicle to pick them up. The guy picking them up was a deputy regiment-level officer named Zhou Jin. He knew Liang Sangxi and Zhao Mengsheng were the leads, so he spoke directly to them. "This time, you're all going into the military command department, specifically Command Class 3. I expect you to study hard and make something of yourselves." "Yes, sir." Zhou Jin walked them through enrollment, gave them a tour of the campus, and then showed them to the dorms. Whether it was Wu Shuang pulling strings behind the scenes or not, all 5 of them ended up in the same room. Couldn't have asked for better. That evening after dinner, the 5 of them spent one last easy night together in the dorm. That night, Zhao Mengsheng lay on his bunk and lit a cigarette. The smoke drifted up to Jin Kailai on the top bunk. "Bro, it's late. Put that thing out. What's up, you missing your wife? Just go back to Beijing, we'll cover for you." "Nah, I'm thinking about Juzi. He's 2 years younger than me, lost both legs at 19, the rest of his life, man." "I've been thinking. Our unit lost a lot of good men out there. Those of us who made it back, shouldn't we do something? Like set up a support fund for the wounded and the families of the fallen. It might not amount to much right now, but I truly believe one day that seed will grow into something big enough to help every single one of our brothers. Zhenhua's right. Count me in. Me too. Next morning, everyone headed to the classroom. Command Class 3 that term had 10 students total, 5 of us, plus 5 others. Turned out they'd all fought in the south against the Vietnamese too. We were on the Western Front. They were Central South Military Region, Eastern Front. All combat vets. We clicked instantly. Everyone was swapping war stories, talking about how they took it to the enemy. And right in the middle of all that, a middle-aged officer in his 40s walked into the room. He stepped up to the podium and set down his textbook. My name is Fang Yingda. I'll be your military command instructor and your homeroom teacher.